$37,172 American dollars, the average student loan debt in America. Since young children, we have always been forewarned of the somewhat mandatory completion of a college degree, and after years of hard work, you've finally been accepted into higher education. What now? How do you ensure that you will financially be able to complete school? We all know that college is expensive, but what we all should know is the true cost of being a college student, how to pay for college, and how to set yourself up for financial success in the future. To start off, college is an investment, both with our time and money, and it is imperative to plan accordingly in order to set ourselves up for success. As students, we tend to focus on the cost of just being accepted and registering for classes, and tend to be blindsided by any costs that are unrelated. Understanding these costs will help you not only financially, but also as a student, being that financial instability is a leading stressor for college students. The cost of classes alone are enough to put any family in financial disarray. But what about living expenses and other expenses related to higher education? For new students, these can be extremely overwhelming and sometimes leading to have to withdraw from classes and the university. My advice is to try to save money in every way possible. Research before purchasing any course materials and try to reach out to your fellow mountaineer. Another huge expense to college students is food. For some students, this is their first time living alone, and because of that, we are not prepared for how much food and groceries actually cost. Recognizing spending habits and understanding how expensive groceries can be is an important part to becoming an adult. My advice is to try to shop once a week and buy things that you know you will use, for anything that you throw away is money that is thrown down the drain. Another option is a meal plan, if you can get on campus and you think that you can get enough use out of it. Now that we understand how expensive college can actually be, how do we pay for it? The financial strain that college imposes among students can be felt among all of us. But this shared struggle leads to a supportive network geared to help students finance the cost of higher education. So the question is, how do you pay for college? There really is no right way to pay for college. There's no magical fix, and some things that may have worked for me may not work for others. But recognizing all the resources available to us as students helps take the strain off just a little bit. Understanding what financial aid is, what FAFSA is, federal work study, and the difference between an unsubsidized and a subsidized loan can help lead to financial success in the future. Another piece of advice is to continue to apply for scholarships. What a commonality we see is that college students tend to not apply for as many, but in retrospect there is more scholarships on a collegiate level, so my advice is to apply to as many as you can. But for some of us, these options are not available, and financing your education is a little bit trickier. My advice is to try to get a part-time job, a work study, and something that can get you just a little bit of money. Finally, financing your degree is only half of the battle. How do you use your time in college to ensure financial health in the future? Networking with professionals and recruiters sets you aside from others because people are way more likely to hire someone they already know. Creating a support system in college is necessary. Whether it be faculty, staff, or others, having a network of people that want to see you grow can lead to opportunities in the future. Just knowing someone can get your foot in the door, and sometimes that's all we need. I stress to attend WVU events such career fairs, meet the firms, and networking events, and also to recognize the value of a professor. They have field experience and contacts in the field that you are in. One of the biggest pieces of advice I have to offer, though, is to not wait to pursue employees because you feel you're too young or too experienced. Just make sure your resume, LinkedIn, and Handshake are up to date, and try to envision what industry you see yourself working for, and you can do anything. College is hard and expensive. It's the reality of it. However, this should not deter us away. As students, we get overwhelmed. But in remembering why we do all of this, it creates intrinsic motivation. College is time where we form new identities, create meaningful friendships, and flourish into adulthood. We should not let the perils of financial burden impede our ability to do so. In being aware of your financial responsibilities, you are able to go further. And that is just what mountaineers do.